we have those outer bands from Tropical Storm Melissa continuing to move and get close to some of those islands through the greater Antilles. Periods of heavy rain, gusty winds, even a few storms. We're watching Cuba, Jamaica, Haiti, the Dominican Republic, even Puerto Rico pretty closely. Those impacts we could see already, arguably seeing them this morning.
Yeah, we do want to take it into Puerto Rico right now. That's where we find WAPA-TV, WAPA Chief Meteorologist Ada Monzón joining us. Ada, thank you for joining us here on Weather Command. I mean, for Puerto Rico, not in the forecast cone, right? And overall, confidence in the forecast for Melissa, it is low. But there is the chance that Puerto Rico could see, let's see, I think the NHC is saying 2 to 4 inches now through Saturday. But this morning, it did look like maybe some of the moisture was already filtering in.
That's true. Thank you for having me. Let me tell you, as of this morning, we've had many showers in the area, no lightning, but in the past few days, we've had between 15 to 20 miles an hour, gusts up to 37 miles an hour. And the rain is going to continue on and off occasionally. And those are related to the extensive wind field and also the humidity field that is coming with Tropical Storm Melissa. I think I'm more concerned right now about the situation in the Western Caribbean for Haiti, Jamaica, and also Eastern Cuba, because there the risk is not only meteorological, but it's also humanitarian. And as you know, these countries have a very deep social and economic vulnerabilities, and with this tropical storm or a hurricane, and now a forecast for a major hurricane near Jamaica, that can turn into a very dangerous situation for thousands of people.
It's a valid point, Ada. Actually, our hurricane specialist brought that up yesterday as well, talking about those vulnerabilities that we see, notably in Haiti, where the government has already issued a hurricane watch that's in effect. And it's possible we won't feel those hurricane conditions for maybe the next 72 hours or so. And generally speaking, we get a hurricane watch within 48 hours of those impacts being felt. But getting the word out is so important. Ada, when you're watching this system like Melissa and it's moving at 2 miles an hour, what is going through your head, especially when you look at the forecast for Puerto Rico? This weather is just going to be so slow to change, all the while Melissa is strengthening, becoming possibly a hurricane.
I mean, the interaction between the mountains and the winds, sometimes it can help to weaken the storm winds when we have a direct impact, but it has happened in Puerto Rico, for example, with Hurricane Maria and with George. But in this case, I think the most important interaction is how the moist wind flow is going to be forced up because of the mountainous regions, both in Jamaica, in Haiti, and the Dominican Republic, and that amplifies the amount of rainfall dramatically and produce torrential rain. For example, in Puerto Rico, on average, whenever we have a tropical cyclone, we have between 10 to 15 inches through the path of the storm. But with Hurricane Maria, in 3 days, we had more than 38 inches of rain. And in Hurricane Fiona, in the southern part of the island, we had between 15 and 20 inches of rain with a maximum of 30 inches. And that caused flash floods, catastrophic landslides, and especially in these islands, such as Haiti specifically, which you have so many soils that are uncovered. They have been deforested. Then, you know, the hills are also unstable, and you have a lot of informal buildings that can mean a lot of damage, and also many lives which are vulnerable because of flash floods and landslides.
Yeah, I was looking back at Hurricane Matthew. That was back in 2016. It devastated Haiti because of the very heavy rainfall that accompanied this system. It was in the end, it was a retired name, but that it did level communities in Haiti. We're looking at Jamaica with a mountain peak at 7,400. The DR has a mountain peak of 10,000. So the rain is obviously going to be, I think, one of the more impactful parts of this system. But Ada, as well, you talk about the potential for a Category 4, Category 5 hurricane, and we don't know where and what direction it could go. But even that in itself, with the ferocity of those winds, would be just another layer if it decides to head towards these islands as well.
as you were mentioning, also in Tropical Storm Jean in 2004, caused a lot of damage in Haiti, and actually 3,000 people were killed because of the flooding. And also in Jamaica, I think it was Hurricane Gilbert in 1988. I think it's considered the most devastating hurricane in Jamaica. You had all the agriculture, which was lost. You also had a lot of tourism, which was crippled, and thousands of people that were left homeless.
Before we let you go, when we look at the month of October, and you talk about these storms of past, so certainly your knowledge of the Caribbean exceeds mine. I do wonder how you communicate hurricane season in the month of October, because things, we start talking about it, that things are beginning to quiet down. But a case like Melissa, the Caribbean still very red hot, and I guess. Is it communicated like it's not over till it's over, or do you start breathing a sigh of relief as you head into the months of October and November?
Well, let me tell you, in 1999, we had Hurricane Lenny, and that system moved from the Western Caribbean to the Eastern Caribbean. And I remember exactly, because that system was not the usual system that you see. Whenever you have upper troughs that are digging to the tropical latitudes, that can take any system from the Caribbean Sea and move it either east or move it northeast. And that's what concerns me, especially with that upper trough pattern. If it actually is going to take and bring Melissa from the very warm waters in the Western Caribbean up into Jamaica, up into the Eastern Cuba, and what is going to happen then? Because these are very vulnerable areas, and the way that you communicate this is about impacts. We can have many torrential rainfall events, and we need to make sure that people understand their risk. And this is more than the meteorological aspect. We have to think on how these communities can survive. And not many communities have the resources to adapt or to respond properly. So that's what I'm really concerned, making sure that it's not only the wind or the rain, but it's the deep social vulnerability of our communities that have a very important role in all of this.
We saw that post-Matthew was illness overspread Haiti, and deaths were attributed because of just the destruction left behind. We appreciate your insight and evolving forecast. WAPA-TV Chief Meteorologist Ada Monzón, thank you for joining us this morning.
Thank you.